So I hope now my computer screen is visible to all of you.
Visible, sir.
Okay. So one problem I want to solve more because this type of question, this spring and the weight problem, it is normally asked in your examination. Okay. So we will do this problem and then we will go to your minimum potential energy theorem and two questions. I have three questions, question number 1, 2 and 3, all related to your spring and mass system. Okay, you have to determine the nodal deflection. This is very important for your external examination point of view. So one question I will show you how to solve it and then you have to solve the remaining two questions. Okay. So I will tell you how to solve this problem number 2. So I will be using that blackboard. So first what I will do, I will set my camera accordingly. Stop the screen share. Okay. Okay, one more student joined. Five E7. Who is this? 18 series 5E7. Are you the student of this class? Yes. Please speak out. He left. Okay. I want to see how this entire screen will come. Why it is not showing? Again, that 5E7 joined. Who is this? Can you tell me? 5E7. Okay. Okay, so board is visible to all of you. Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay. So I will draw the problem statement here. You are having one spring, then one mass is attached over here. Then again we have one spring, then again we have a mass. So we have three springs and three mass. If we have any spring, we definitely have its stiffness. So here 3K, 2K, and the last one is your K. Okay, the weight we will consider W. Now, you have to find out the nodal deflection. Let me read out the question. Depict a system of three linearly elastic springs. These are the three linearly elastic springs. Okay. and supporting three equal weights W, W, W and W. Okay, suspended in a vertical plane, so it is vertically suspended. Treating the springs as a finite element determines the vertical displacement of each weight. Okay, they want to know how much it will deflect. So this you have to calculate. Now we will write this in finite element format. Okay. If you have any question like this, then you have to first write the finite element formulation. So it is very simple. I will use yellow color for this. These points I will consider as nodal points. So how many nodes do we have here? Yes, please reply. Yes. How many nodes do we have here?
4, sir.
4. We have here 4 nodes and the number of elements will be 3. So for nodes, what I am doing, if you will see, I am writing that node number in a circle. Okay. Now what I will do, this is your element number 1. I am writing in square box. Element number 2, element number 3. Okay, so we have 3 elements and 4 nodes, and we are interested to calculate the nodal deformation. So let me write here U1, U2, U3, U4. Okay, so here 4 displacements are there. This end is fixed. The top end is fixed. So it means U1 equals to 0. Okay, that is you will be your boundary condition as well. So what I will write, if in between somebody will join, then please come on time. Okay, 3:24:19:3. Yeah. So I will write here the boundary condition is this end is fixed. Node number 1 is fixed. So displacement at this location will be equals to
0, sir.
yes. So like this you people respond, then I will also find it very interesting to teach you. So U1 will be equals to 0. Now in the question it is asking how much this load will deflect. So here the question is asking what will be the value of U2, U3, U4. One more thing that I would like to ask you people. Can you tell me if we have 4 nodes, 1, 2, 3 and 4. We have 4 nodes here. What will be the size of our global steep?
4 cross 4, sir.
Very good. So I will write as soon as you confirm the number of nodes, you can write global steep matrix will be of the order 4 cross. Okay, since we have 4 number of nodes. Now, the first step what you do is you can write individual element steepness matrix. Okay, so now let's see how to write that. Few more students are coming. Okay. So what we will do, we will write individual stiffness matrix. First, we will write for element number 1. Element number 1. Stiffness matrix will be, what is the value of stiffness here? Are you able to see this? What is the value of stiffness over here?
3K, sir.
3K. So we can write the stiffness matrix for element number 1 be 3K minus 3K minus 3K plus 3K. Similarly, how many elements do you have? 1, 2. You can write 3 individual element stiffness matrix. For element number 2, I will write E2. E2 means element number 2. The stiffness value is 2K. So, you can write 2K minus 2K minus 2K and 2K. So this is your element stiffness matrix for element number 2. Similarly, you can write for element number 3. For element number 3, your stiffness matrix is K. Okay. So what we will do, our element stiffness matrix will be K minus K minus K and K. So up to here it is clear. You all know how to write the individual stiffness matrix. Okay. From this numerical, you are going to secure your 10 marks for your examination. So we have written the individual element matrix. Now we are going to write global stiffness matrix. So I will make a big box. Up to here, I hope it will be visible in your camera frame. And we also know that the order of this matrix will be 4 cross 4. So let us write 1, 2, 3, 4. On above also you write 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1, 2, 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3 and 4. Now we will assemble it. So element number 1 is connected between 1 and 2. Okay. So we will write that element number 1 is 3K. 3K minus 3K minus 3K, 3K. Coming to your element number 2, it is connected between 2 and 3. Okay, you all must know how to write this global stiffness matrix. This is very, very, very important. Okay. So element number 2 is connected between 2 and 3. So you have to see where this 3 and 2 is coming. So this is those 4 spots. Yeah. This is those 4 spots. Below 2, 3 you can draw a straight line like this. Very light, and the 4 point of intersections you will get. Okay. Now, the stiffness value is 2K. So here it will be plus 2K, minus 2K, minus 2K, and plus 2K. Okay. Now finally you have to come to your element number 3 that is connected between element 3 and element number 4. So element 3 is coming like this, 4 you can draw like this. So 3 and 4. So what are the common places between 3 and 4? Spot number 1, 2, 3 and 4. And what is the value? The value is K. The stiffness for your element number 3 is K. So I will write plus K minus K minus K plus K. Up to here it is clear to all of you. Remaining places you can keep 0. So this is how you can write your global stiffness matrix. I hope it is clear to all of you because we did few problems earlier also based on this. Is that clear? Please respond.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So now after this, can you tell me what will be the step? Anyone?
Two first column cancels.
Yes.
First
Now
row,
you
first
have
column.
to apply. After this, you have to apply your boundary condition. If you have written your global stiffness matrix, then you have to write your boundary condition. Or if you remember the first, what we have written, that simple equation F equals to Kx. You all know that. I will write here F equals to K into X, where F is your force, K is the stiffness matrix, X is your displacement. In the question, it is asking what will be the value of these displacement, that is your U2, U3 and U4. Okay, so this K matrix we have already written. Okay, this X will be nothing but I will be adding to this side U1, one column matrix I will add, U2, U3 and U4. Is this part coming to your video frame?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this is the displacement value. This is your stiffness matrix. Now, this will be equals to your force matrix. Like here you can see I have written F equals to K into X. K we have written, X we have written. Now, the term is for F. So here it will be F1, F2, F3, F4. Now, what is the boundary condition? Boundary condition is U1 equals to 0. So, this value U1 equals to 0. Now, you have to make this term U1 equals to 0 and you have to simplify this. If you will simplify this, what you will get? You can see here 3K plus 2K. So, it will become 5K. So, can I write here 5K?
Yes, sir.
So here I am going to write 5K. Similarly, 2K plus K. Can we write 3K? So I am going to write here 3K. Rest everything will remain the same. You can either keep this K out also because it is common to every point. Okay. And now you have to apply the boundary condition and you have to solve it in your calculator. Okay, how to apply the boundary condition? Can anyone tell me in the class how to apply the boundary condition here?
You have to cancel first row and first column, sir.
Very good. Why first row and first column? Can you justify your answer?
U1 is equals to 0.
Yes.
Because there is no
Because
displacement, sir.
in the problem statement, in the question, it is written u1 equals to 0. So wherever that boundary condition is given, suppose in some problem u3 point is fixed, okay, point number 3. So you have to make in that situation u3 equals to 0. Then this line will be cancelled out. But here top point is fixed, so we are making u1 equals to 0. So what we will do, we will neglect or we will cancel this first row and first column. So what will be left with you? You will be left with 3 cross 3 matrix. And what is that? I am writing over it only. Okay, I am writing over this only. But when you write in your exam, you have to write as a next state. Okay. So this will become your new matrix.
3 by 3 matrix.
3 by 3 matrix. And here you will get U2, U3, U4, and here you will get F2, F3, F4. Now, what will be the value of F2, F3, F4? Load value. Load is W. Weight of that object, that is W, force. So here we can write in place of F2, F3 and F4, W we can write. So now you have 3 cross 3 matrix, and this U you can consider from here, and in W also you can consider the last C. Forget about the topmost point. Okay, I will make a line over here. Now this you have to solve, and you will get U2, U3, U4. I am giving you time to solve it. Okay, try to solve it in your calculator, or you can manually also solve it. Manually also you can solve it. Three equations you will get from here. If you will do the multiplication, as I don't have, you can solve it directly in your calculator also, or you can solve it manually also. So what will be those three equations? 5k u2 minus 2k u3 0 into u4, it will become 0, equals to w. So you will get some relation between u2 and u3 from here. Now from second row, what you can get, minus 2k u2 3k into u3 equals to, and minus k into u4 equals to w. And the last equation will be 0 into u2, 0, minus k into u3 and plus k into u4. Yes, anyone getting the answer? Three unknowns, three equations. Here k is constant, w is constant. K and w is constant. Don't take them as a variable. Variable is only u2, u3 and u4.
Sir, I have a doubt.
One doubt, ask me.
Sir, when we calculate row into column, we changes to signs. No, sir, we change signs.
No. Do we change it?
Plus minus plus. When we
No,
calculate.
that we do in your adjoint matrix when you will be writing or when you are calculating the inverse of a matrix or determinant of a matrix. But while multiplication, you can directly sum like 5k into u2 minus 2k into u3, 0 into u4. Okay, so since here you have minus sign, so it will remain as it is, minus sign. In
Sir,
multiplication, I think there will be no sign changes.
u2 equal to 1, u3 equal to, sorry, u2 equal to 1, u3 equal to 2, u4 equal to 3.
So I will write here the right answer. Okay. You will get u2 equals to w by k, u3 equals to 2w by k, and u4 equals to 3w by k. So this W and K is constant. So while putting the values in your calculator, you have to take care of that. Some constant you have to keep it there, or manually you can solve it. So you can note down this as your final answer. I have kept it in a box at the top. Is this clear to everyone? Or if you have any doubt in any step, feel free to ask me. Is this clearly visible what I have written on the board?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So please note down. If you have any doubt in any step, you ask me. Okay. Because this type of problem will be asked in your examination. I'll give you 2 to 3 minutes to note it down. Don't think like you are at home, so sir is not viewing your notebook. So you are just sitting. That will not be helpful. Okay. So take a notebook and note down the things. I will give you 2 minutes. Do it fast. Yes, whether it is complete. Shall we move on to the next slide? You can use substitution method, okay, to solve these three equations. Or you can, if you have your calculator, you can solve it directly also. Shall we move on to the next question? If you have any doubt in this question, you ask.
No doubt, sir.
Okay, very good. So now I will show you few more questions that I will give you as an assignment. Yeah. So this question we have solved. Okay. That PPT slides, are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So this question just now we have solved. And another question I will show you here. Here you can see the values of K1, K2 and K3 is given. K1 and K2, only two springs are here. Two springs means two elements. And three nodes, node number 1, 2 and 3. This is your node number 1, 2 and this is your node number 3. Now, in place of W, like we did in the previous problem, in place of W, here some force is applied. I will show you with some different color. Here you can see in blue color, F2 is applied at this node and F3 is applied at node number 3. This U1, U2 and U3 are your displacement for node number 1, node number 2 and node number 3. Okay. Suppose U1 is fixed. Suppose U1 is fixed means U1 will become equals to 0. Then U1 will become 0. Okay. Rest everything will remain the same as we did earlier. Only thing here, the value of K1, K2, F2 and F3 is given. F2 and F3 is given. Okay. So based on that, in the question, they will ask you what will be the value of U2 and what will be the value of U3. Okay. So can you solve this numerical?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So any student is coming. 349. Whether he is from FEM? $349. Where is that student? 349. Unmute yourself. Who is this? 349. Why you are joining the class so late? Yes. Who is this? 349. Try to come on time, or if you are coming just for attendance, then you are going to lose a lot of things. Okay. So if somebody is coming late, so it is actually disturbing the sequence of the teaching. So that's why you come on time. So here, in the same way, numericals will be asked in your examination. One more problem you can see here, they have applied the load in opposite direction. In question number 3, load is applied in opposite direction. So negative value is written over here. At node number 2, F2 equals to minus F. Okay. And here some displacement is applied at node number 3, that is delta. And at node number 4, you can see some force is applied over here. F4 equals to 2F. So I want you people to solve this numerical today. I will upload it into your Canvas as well as Team. Okay. So you go through this question and try to solve it. If you are able to solve it, then I am 100% sure that you are not going to miss a single mark from your unit number 1 and unit number 2. If you are able to solve this question number 3, you can test your concept understanding, okay, by solving this question number 3. So you are going to assure your marks for 2 units, unit number 1 and unit number 2. Okay. Now I would like to tell few theoretical topics are left that we will discuss this week, and by this weekend, that is your Saturday, we are going to finish unit 1 and unit 2 both. In next week, we will start unit 3, and before your mid 1 examination, we will finish your unit number 3. Okay. So at the same time, you all must update your notes. Today, I will upload this PowerPoint presentation file to your team. So from there, you can take help and you can update your notebooks. Now, if you have paid attention, so this is what we have done actually. Let me make it full screen. Yeah. What normally we are doing, what is the general procedure? We are formulating individual element stiffness matrix. If you see there what we did, first we have written individual element stiffness matrix. The numerical we did there, the first element was having stiffness 3K, then 2K, and then finally K. So remember the steps. What we did now, we have written the individual element stiffness matrix. Then based on that, you have written global stiffness matrix rather. Okay. Here it is written global displacement relations, so that we have written F equals to Kx. So after writing this individual element stiffness matrix, you have written global stiffness matrix, and then you have put it into your global displacement relation, what we written over there. Okay. Now assembly we have done, assemble the global equilibrium equation in matrix form. Then we have applied the boundary condition, or you can say the specified constraint, to simplify that matrix, and then you have solved the system of equation for unknowns and nodal displacement. After solving that, you have got the value of your nodal displacement. Nodal displacement for this case was U2, U3 and U4. Once you get the nodal displacement, you can calculate reaction forces. Like for the previous case, if you will see WWW, 3 loads were acting, 3 loads or 2 loads? We have 3 loads. 3 loads were acting, WW and W acting in downward direction. So using your mechanics, engineering mechanics concept, you can directly say that the reaction at node number 1 will be W plus W plus W, and direction will be opposite. So it will become minus 3W. So this is the, I have tried to summarize the point what we were using to solve the numerical. Is that clear? Please respond. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So that steps you must keep in your mind, okay, to solve any numerical. They might have in the exam, they can give you one rod and they will say that F load is acting at this point. Then you have to use the same concept, what we did here now. Okay. Form will be different, but concept will remain the same. Like, I will show you one small example in the exam how questions can be asked. I'm going to rub this out. in the exam, if they will try to change the question model, what they can ask you, they will change the cross-sectional area also. I'm trying to keep it simple. So simple geometry I have drawn here. Okay, is this visible, Arbaz?
No,
What
sir.
I am drawing,
No, sir.
visible or
No,
not?
sir.
Visible, sir.
Okay. Okay. Now you tell me, is it visible?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes. So in examination, what they can give, they have given a small geometry. Length will be given as L, this part, and suppose this part is also L, or let's keep it as some different length, 0.75 L. This is your L, this is your 0.75 L. Cross-sectional area, this is your front view. Suppose cross-sectional area, they are giving A1 for this part, A2 for this part. Okay. And modulus of elasticity is same. Capital E I am writing. Capital E. Modulus of elasticity is same. It means it is made up of same material. Only thing is cross-sectional area is changing. Here it is smaller. As you can see here, here the cross-sectional area has increased. Length is different. Here, K value is not given directly. Now, in such situation, you tell me what you will do. Anyone from you, my dear students? How you will calculate the stiffness matrix for these geometry? Its finite element model you can draw like first spring, second spring. First spring is this element, second spring is for this part. Okay? Now, we write or in numerical K is given. So you can write it as K1 and for this you can write it as K2. Now what will be the value of K1 and what will be the value of K2? Who will tell me? Yes. Please try to reply.
A1 into
Yes.
A1 into L.
E by L. If you remember, in the first class, we have done some derivation and we got stiffness is nothing but cross-sectional area, A1 into modulus of elasticity by L, that is the length. So, if the value of A, E and L is given, you can calculate. And from here, now you can write your stiffness matrix like K1 minus K1, K1. Your element stiffness matrix. Similarly, what will be K2? All of you respond.
A2E by 0.75 L.
Very, very good. A2 divided by 0.75 L. So from here, you will get your another element stiffness matrix, that is K2 minus K2 minus K2, K2. So now you can form your global steepness matrix. It is well known to everyone. By doing this, you can easily calculate the node placement at 1, 2, and 3. Suppose here it is acting. For this node you have U2, and for you have U3. Okay, U1, U2, U3. Suppose they can apply some load here. Boundary condition is not, I have not now. So they can fix it at one end, or some displacement boundary condition can. At this point, they can write some F1 force is acting. At this point, suppose the force is acting in another direction. So then you have to write your, what will be the order of global stiffness here?
3 cross 3.
Very
2 by
good.
2.
3 cross 3. You have not 2 by 2, 3 by 3.
Yes, sir. 3 notes. Okay, sir.
1, 2, 3. 3 cross 3 will be your global stiffness matrix. So you can write your K1 minus K1 0 minus K1 K2 plus K1 minus K2 0 minus K2, and here it will be K2. This is your global stiffness matrix. Then you can write your displacement matrix, that is U1, U2, U3 equals to your load matrix. Load matrix, here reaction force will be acting. So you can write F, or you can write reaction force. If it is not given any force applied over here, you write 0. Here F1 is there, and here minus F2, because the direction is in opposite direction. So now you have to apply your boundary condition that this end is fixed. So U1 will become 0. So you can remove top row and top column, and it will become a 2 cross 2 matrix. The values K1, K2, you calculate from here, substitute those values at this location, and then solve to get U2, U3, and values of F1 and F2 they may give you, or if it is not given, you can consider it as a constant. So is that clear? Can you solve numerical based on this?
Yes, sir.
Sir, how we know the nodes in this geometry, sir? How we know nodes, node points?
Please repeat your question.
How we know node points in this geometry, sir? This type of geometry.
This type of geometry, very good question. What you can do, you have seen for the problem we have solved till now, what we are doing for the given geometry here, in between we cannot calculate any displacement. We are calculating displacement only at node locations, nodal locations. So wherever any force, wherever any displacement is given in your question, you simply put node at those locations. Like here, force F1 was acting, so I have kept one node over here.
Okay, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Suppose some more points. In question, suppose they have added one more node. In question, they have added one more node value at this location, F3. Now, you can make this finite element as one element, two element, three element. Now you will be having 1, 2, and 3 element and 4 nodes. Okay,
Sir,
is that clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so if you have understand the concept, I will put the PPT file up to today's class into your team as well as your Canvas. try to solve those two questions. I am giving you those two questions as an assignment. Try to solve it. If you are able to solve those two numericals, then I am 100% sure that you are not going to lose a single mark in from unit number 1 and unit number 2. Okay?
Okay, sir.
So today we
Sir,
will stop here. Yeah,
Sir,
you are saying something?
force is given reversible, sir. Then what will we do? It will.
Force if it is given in reverse direction. This is
Yes,
your
sir.
question.
Negative direction.
Only thing you have to keep minus sign. You have to keep, let me show you, minus sign. Suppose some magnitude will be given. F2 I have written here, suppose the value is 100 Newton. So here you can write minus 100. If F1 is 10 Newton, so it will be positive 10, and here it is acting in opposite direction, so you can write minus 100.
Okay, sir.
Okay?
Okay, sir.
Anything else? Anyone? If you have any doubt, you can ask me. After this, do you have any class?
Sir, in every geometry, U1 is equals to 0, sir.
Normally, what we keep, the end which is fixed, okay, we keep it as U1. Somewhere you will give numbering, na, node number 1, 2, 3, okay. So normally what we keep, the end which is fixed, we keep that end as node number 1. So that's why everywhere you are looking that U1 is 0. So that we can easily remove your top row and first column. So to reduce it to your 2 cross 2 matrix.
Yes, sir.
That here?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I am here to clarify your doubt if you have any doubt. After this, do you have any class?
No, sir.
Okay. So you can ask me if you have any doubt, no issue. And the next topic we will start tomorrow. Minimum potential energy formulation and weighted residual method. In exam, direct question comes from those two topics. Theory question. Write short note on minimum potential energy theorem. Write short note on weighted residual function. So tomorrow's class is very important. All of you must attend tomorrow's class. If any of your friend is not attending the class, you tell them to attend each and every class from hereafter, or else it will be very difficult for anyone to pass this course.
Okay, sir.
Okay, fine. So now let me download the attendance list.
Sir, is there any chances of conducting offline classes?
Till now, I don't have any information regarding that. Okay. If I'll get any information, definitely it will be conveyed to you via your coordinator, class teacher. Okay. The department will give you the information on WhatsApp regarding offline class. So now, if you don't have any doubt, you can leave the meeting. Class is over.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All the best. Nice day. (3:53). Leave the meeting.
Sir, okay, sir.
311. 18 series 311.